Hello, hello. So the market is going to open with a big push up. Let me put the camera here on. Let me see. uh, if I can make it work. One, two, three. Is the camera going to load? Check. Now it should work. So it's working now. Uh, let's recap. Let's recap the entire week of last week because we had an important one. And after that, what we are going to do is review what the market is expecting to provide in an hour and 10 minutes from now. This is a market moving event. It was about 8 hours ago. The futures are already realizing the gains. And we have a major news saying US Senate advances bill to end federal shutdowns. This is the news, still not signed. And here there is a highlight of three approximation measures. Right? Anyway, the market, based on that, it just rallied. Right? Morning beat, this is an hour ago, reopen rally. And so we go back to the main page. The main news for the last 24 hours in the companies we highlight BBC Boss. Oh, this is a big one. So I saw the video this morning where they mentioned that they saw a clip. This is my Twitter. They mentioned a clip from Donald Trump before editing and after editing, and it comes from there. Look, oil sanctions, Pfizer. I didn't read much about this. Asia oil floating storage surge as sanctions tight US China quota curve demand. India to buy Middle East and the US. This is we'll analyze how the oil price is going to react to this because it has been moving with cross currents news and is going to take a direction sooner or later. And US flight delays, cancellations accelerates as air traffic controller shortages surge. Okay, this is something that we really need to have into consideration. The market did not, the government did not reopen yet, right? And this is a good point to say. Stock market hits a speed bump, but investors stay on bullish path. We'll see, right? Let's go back let's start with the daily routine. So to get to this site, you have to go to this link here. So it's bit.ly/m for Mario /rutina and capital R. Rutina is routine in Spanish. I've been doing this for many years. It is true that throughout the years I add sans data, I remove other data, but basically what I want to do is to have a data frame in my head to erase the news and be in the head or in the thoughts of other market participants to see if we can trade higher or lower throughout the day. And that way manage the exposure, the risk, and a market view. This is one of the best calendars I enjoy. These are the equity indexes, the S&P 500, S&P 500 daily change, high and lows of the S&P 500, or the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange. That was recently added. Futures that I always look, but it was not here. Sectors year to date, total equity returns, international equity returns. This is a chart that I like for major shifts or to view what's moving and what is not moving, and then here a way to get to Discord or a phone call with me and so on. Like also some classes of what I look. So let's just start with the economic calendar for today. And this website, there is Forex Factory, there is Bloomberg, there is Reuters, but this is clean, easy to get to, trustworthy. They had been doing this for over 30 years. This is the Econo for economy day.com. Right here you have the link. Treasury buyback at 11. This is all New York stock time, right? So Easter Standard. At 11, so you have four pieces of news, right? Nothing really red. At 11:30, 3 months bill auctioning, 6 months at this as well, 3 and 6 months, and then at 1 we have the more important ones, right? 6 weeks and 3 years note auction. Tomorrow we have the small business optimism index, and Michael Barr speaks. This is not the economic. This is the economic calendar. This is not earnings, right? This is another calendar. We have to look into it. So, what do we have in a macro picture, right? And here the banner says, very interesting. The macro picture we have first of all the continuation of Japan. It is true, it retraces here, but this trend line is intact. It's about 25% since the first week of August. Extraordinary. Can this be a bull flag here or a consolidation? Yes, you can name it what it is. What it is for me is bullish. Then we have China, which is the dotted red line, which was in a consolidation for 2 or 3 months. And now, this is what I meant, this consolidation here. Oh, sorry, from here all the way here, right? And then broke here, and now it's inside of this. But it seems if international news help, this can trade higher. You see how it didn't trade lower while Europeans and Americans were trading lower? Sorry. So this is important to notice. Then in orange, one of my favorite colors for charts, it's the trend line of S&P 500, which is down from the day the Fed spoke at the end of the month. I could do this a little better. From this day, the trend has been down. Today, It's trying to break a little bit, but remember, it's just 1%, right? We analyze now how much we are down in the month. Then we have in blue the Eurozone that is down, and UK that is holding a bit better. And remember, these are in dollars, right? So it's no, this is local currency, right? Local currency, sorry. And the UK that is holding a bit better than Europe and the US, but not going like Japan or China. The next picture we have the four different charts. Here, I mean, I could remove this. So here we have the daily price and the close of yesterday, the last closing day. This is the data as of this day, right? So you can see how we had been trading lower. We have a hammer on Friday. Very surprised. I thought it would consolidate at the low because internals were weak at the open and then flipped. In weekly candles, so each candle here represents a week, we are 2 weeks negative in a row, and we're going to start building a new week here, probably a bit higher. Let's see what we do. Month to date is 1.6 negative. Year to date is 14 and a half. These are monthly candles. You can see the monthly so far has been negative, and the quarterly candle, the quarterly has been positive. In the day percentage, what we mentioned last time is, hey, we're having negative pressure that I failed to see earlier, right? Now, of course, we can see like four, including these five very low gains and three negative candles, quite relevant. Volatility will come and it will go from here to here, right? So far, nothing yet. This is a complex chart, but very valuable. As of last trading day close, remember we close higher, right? We have New York Stock Exchange having 98 negative new lows. This measures new highs or new lows. So 98 lows, right? Is the subtraction between the highs and the lows. So this is negative. It means it made new lows, right? So both the NASDAQ, this is the entire ecosystem, all the stocks that trade in the NASDAQ. This is all the stocks that trade in the New York Stock Exchange. You see, it is not as strong as it used to be. That could change, yes, but that's the stage of the last Friday close. The futures from month, they were a bit higher. Let's see if I make it bigger. They were a bit higher, but nothing crazy yet because look, we're at 20, right? This is the subtraction between the month two, the 60 days from now minus 30 days from now. This is 90 to 60. It shows backwardation, no convexity. That's the goal there. These are the year-to-date returns of many instruments. What I look always is New York Stock Exchange, sorry, S&P 500, 14, healthcare, 6, crude, negative, oil used to be 60, now it's 53. Emerging going, right? That's what I highlight here. This is similar with major indexes on equities and bonds. So blue is bonds and orange is equities. Some indexes are doing great. This is dollar based, remember. So it's not that Spain is doing almost 60% year to date. It has to count the dollar, the euro dollar change. Here, what do we have? And I would like to make this chart less blurry, but I've been trying and it's not able to do it. So let's focus on the last 30 days. Here we have Bitcoin 15% down, Nikkei 5%. This is last 30 trading days, right? Oh, last 30 days, sorry, calendar days. Um, Oil down, pound to USD down, FTSE up about exactly the same, and nothing relevant here. In the last 14 days, Nikkei is really strong, but it's quite weak in the last week, right? The same thing with S&P, NASDAQ, and 100. So you see NASDAQ is 1.3 in the last 7 days. Mm, 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 mm. And then, oh, if you want to get to Discord, you just need to run. So if you go to Rambots, right, it was automatically will redirect you here. That's all for the daily routine. Let's go into the specifics of key stocks and the indexes. You have here. Let me move my. I'm going to remove my face from here. Remove this, the banner. So I am on every day. That the trade. If the market is open, I am normally in front of the computer. If the market in New York is open. So here we have the return of the last 5 days. 5 days. Here the return on the day, and this is the last price. Let's go through the futures first, and then we go to the equities. I'll For the ones that are new here, I will explain these charts. Here is the daily basis. Here's 5 minutes, and here's 50 minutes. So we focus this on the macro, and we were talking, hey, we have this trend line from building from the day the Fed talked to today. So we cannot look of trading higher if this trend line is not broken. But look at this, what happened overnight. It is broken. So this opened the opportunity to create damage to the people that were short and a buy opportunity for consolidation high. We have two areas here, right? Where I was thinking for support, and this day bounce here, and this day bounce here, then pierce Friday, last Friday. That's why I was thinking, okay, we're going to consolidate here. This trend line might be into effect. It did not work. Oh, it didn't came to effect. Let me do it like this, because if we close below this trend line, then we need to take into account this one. It can be removed now. I'm going to put it up here so we have it present. Um, this is in the daily candles. We can go into the 15 minutes and analyze what happened last Friday. Because as I mentioned, the internals were not positive Friday, right? It returned at 11, at 10:10. Some stocks started to mark the lows, and other ones were at 11 New York time. They printed the low and then flipped. So the S&P 500, let me see what time it flipped. It was at 11 sharp. It it went to this low and returned and closed positive. That of course negated parts of the bearish action from the previous night, right? It was this bearish that this here, they were making money until here. If they close and started providing this, great. If not, it was probably the news that hey, something is going to happen with the government shutdown, and they were started. But whatever happened is we can speculate on the reason, but the truth is, hey, we close positive on the day here, very yes positive, right? And overnight we are seeing a consolidation higher. We're going to open around here, and here we have the big question is: are we going to trade lower? Or are we going to trade higher? Market internals will provide that insight once we have the information. What we do is, hey, we have three scenarios. One is go, open, and go, right? The other one is consolidation, and the other one is coming down. That's it. I don't think about something else. One of the three has to happen. The first, most likely, is if market internals are positive, I want a retest of this high. This high, right? I want that retest. And then consolidation and go. It is true that we can do this and then do this, right? That's the second choice. First choice is retest of this area and go. Second is consolidation here and coming down. And the third, and I don't think is as likely as the others, but we'll see when market internals open. Here, consolidation and trade low, right? That's the yes. Well, let's do the euro because this is interesting. Because the weaker the dollar gets, the easier for American companies to make money and the stock market to trade higher, right? So last week the dollar was getting stronger until it broke this trend line, and then we had 2 days positive, and this is today. This is today's trading day. We have this trend line. What I want personally is for dollar to get stronger, right? But we'll see. It seems like it can consolidate here and test the high. We have to be ready for that. Bitcoin gap together with NASDAQ. Here is the trend line. If this trend line is not taken, I don't want to even think uh, of longs, right? I'm not very active. Oh, crude is exactly at $60. So let me show you. Activate. We have now this trend line from the low to these 3 candles wicks, right? Overall, the market wants oil to trade lower because there is a push from governments to make this lower. And for the last months, this has been trading lower. It was trading at 80, push here again, but it fell and then has been trading lower. Can it find value or a price to flip? Yes, it can. Right. The yes, we went through. This is gold. This is very interesting. We talked Friday, and today gold is positive and is inside of the risk reward 2 to 1. We mentioned this is the stop loss here. If it closes, we have an issue. If we might target this circle. If not, let's consolidate inside above this trend line and then go. So it consolidated indecision candle, indecision kind of bullish candle, but not a very good shape. Trend to the day, trend candle pushing all the shorts out of this consolidation. Let's see what we can make from here, right? Mm, Silver is going to be, so silver is 3, is stronger than gold. Uh, mm, Consolidation trade, right? YM is not as strong as the other indexes, but this is what we have at this at the moment, right? Mm, Hammer to push higher is retracing from the high. Let me see if the yes is retracing from the high a little bit, but not as much. NQ is not retracing that much either. Russell. I don't have the Russell here. I have it here. But this is not the futures. So key stocks. If we go to key stocks, this is not overnight price action. Remember the overnight, these stocks are trading higher. But let me do the volume. No, let me do the 5 minutes. Now this. So Apple, what we had for Apple in the last 5 trading days, right? One, two, this is 4. So we have a big consolidation, overlapping value areas. So stronger than the market. Nvidia was a heavy weight for the market. Getting warm. It was pushing lower every single day and consolidating below. Microsoft the same. You see every day making a new low and consolidation. Amazon similar story and consolidation. Here it broke a trend line. Broadcom, so in a range 3 days, and then Friday just gap down. Meta, we had news from Meta. You remember? They are questioning the part of their revenue. So 3 days, and then that day, yes, Friday just traded lower and pressed lower. And then Tesla, that we have consolidation. I mean, not consolidation. Outside candle Tuesday, Wednesday. So higher, trading higher and lower than the day before. Same theme on Thursday. And Friday finally traded lower below Thursday low. So that's why it was very unique how these stocks are trading. And today we are expecting higher price action for this. These are the market internals for last week. So what we had, let me show you. It's Thursday, they were weak and really accelerated to the downside in the last candles, similar to the advance and decliners, right? The gap, they traded low, they opened lower Friday, traded a bit higher, and then pushed to the low until 10, 11, sorry, until 11. And from then or it just took off. Right? Here something similar until 10, 11. Here very much. We could do that better. These are 15 minutes candles, right? So around 10:15, it flipped. It went higher. Here it was about 11. It flipped and then turned. Yeah, right now it's very easy to see the low, right? It wasn't easy to see the low while trading this life. And that's all. The sectors concluded strong, all of them positive, and volume into the NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange positive here as well. You can see so far. So I don't have that much more to say or to analyze at this stage. I do have some emails to take care. Um, I don't know what is better. You want me to stay and wait? Uh, what is it? 20, 40 more minutes until the market open, or I'll restart another um, another stream. Let me check and copy this and go to the Discord. If you chat, I'll I'll see what you prefer. If I can open a private window. Focusing on the longer term picture. So we have in a daily candles a hammer and a push higher. In the weekly candles, um, indecision candle try to push lower, positive so far inside of last week. In the monthly candle, monthly negative below the open, right? This what is this line? Oh, okay, that's the gap. So the open is actually here, the opening, right? That's what we have. If we go to the day trading charts, give me 1 second until it loads, and then I can go to Discord. So we can see how the activity here really increased. Cells, there were large cells. And then it just took off. Mhm. Let's see in Discord, what do we have? question is gold. How much gold and silver do we have here? Okay, let me stop the mic here. So now it's the mic on again. Mm, This is NQ pushing higher, right? Test. I'm wondering if you can listen to the music. Anyway, the issue is this. I need to add this now. So now I guess you can hear this. The question is when I stop, when I keep talking, this doesn't go very loud. But at least now you have the desktop audio. Yeah? Yes, so when I start talking, you this goes low. Yeah. Ok, entonces cuando yo hablo esto se baja. So now you have the stop audio, but when I talk, the music goes down. So at least you can hear some music, right? While we wait. Because of the government's shutdown,
Seven tries every night to gamble. Even when I turn off all the lights, all I see are puzzles, yeah. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping, to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away. Seven different ways of fighting off the storm we've been sleeping on. Yeah, digging up the ground, trying to find what's wrong. Plant a seed, burn it down, make it freeze. Drown it, then we shock it till we bring it to its knees. Heaven blowing on my dice for a prize. Feel the breeze, hear it roaring like a night. Running, climbing, swimming, gliding. Maybe I'm alright. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping, to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away tonight. And when I'm lying in bed, the voice in my head keeps asking about my life, full of questions I couldn't answer if I tried. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping, to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away. Please fly me away. Won't you just fly me away tonight?
We are live, right? So when I talk, the music should go down, and then when I'm back, you should still listen to the music. 10 more minutes until the market opens. Completed order. Ooh. Internals. Let me check. Pressing down. Sectors. Tiempo. 6 more minutes. Um, it seems they're pressing again. And, and here, what can we say for the footprint, right? 6 more minutes. What do we have here? Let me see. Let me close. So we have big aggressive sells here. 900 contracts. And these trades are really large. So 3 more minutes to go. Okay, so technically we are open, right? And now the question is, how are the market internals? So let me take a cool look. Ticks near 900, advance and decliners positive, and volume positive. Let's take a picture of this and let's change this to XPX. We are above the trend line here. Let me actually save this, save us with XPX so it's clear. Copy this and create the highlights here, 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 and here. So everything go to Discord. In the Discord always says intraday positive internals. Hmm, let's see. Let's see if they hold. So far, where do we want this to trade? Remember? So if we look at individual stocks at the open, so we have gap ups on holding Apple, Microsoft. Save this. So where do we want to go here? So we had an important gap up for 1.6 positive. Okay, some sectors are giving up a little bit of the gains. You see consumer staples, real estate, materials, consumer discretionary, and energy are negative, while the tick evidently is trading lower. This the NQ is going a bit higher. Let me compare to what I posted in Discord. The Nasdaq is still stronger than New York Stock Exchange. The now Infotech is just zero point 0.3 on the day. So let's see this big. Um, the gappers, how they're doing. So Tesla is holding, Apple is going, Microsoft is going, Google as well, Meta as well. The only one retracing a little bit is Tesla. But all over 1%. I said Microsoft is 0.8. Nvidia is at 3.4% on the day. Huge gap. So they couldn't even trade in a 5 minute candle down so far. We just opened 10 minutes ago. Now they're pressing higher. We reach here on the NQ, the yes. November open still. November open there. NQ. All of it is going.
Order filled.
Okay, this is relevant. Let's see what happened here. Market internals quite strong. Advanced decliners, of course, they gave back. I mean, they gave back a little bit. Peak near zero, but they didn't trade below zero at all. NQ retracing a little bit. ES as well. So 170 contracts traded here. Negative. Let's say this is a little inflection point here.
Order filled. Order cancelled. Order filled.
So it was a push there. Now a retracement. Holding the base here. The New York Stock Exchange still strong. What is the market analyzer? The indicators. You see all these stocks are positive greatly on the day. But neutral, neutral, up, Amazon, neutral, 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 down, Tesla. How is Tesla down? Yeah. So Microsoft is neutral now. Nvidia is neutral, testing the low day. Apple is going. Tested here, didn't go. Yeah.
Order cancelled. Order partially filled. Order filled. Order partially filled. Order filled. Order filled.
Market internal volume is decreasing in New York Stock Exchange. NASDAQ is a little better. Hmm. I mean, this is hard. Always is hard, right? Nvidia just got up and moved. Tried to do trade lower, didn't. Now it's trying to go higher. I have there a note for all-time highs, which is not. Let me update this. All-time highs. It's not here. Activate. All-time highs is here. With a double top. This is a gap. Silver is returning. Gold a little bit. See how the selling here is just straight line. It's a computer. The way up on the way down. I guess silver is just the euro. So with that, guys, I'll stop the streaming. The summary, it's the following: positive internal, New York Stock Exchange giving back a little bit, NASDAQ is stronger, Infotech holding, not a great push, but of course, I mean, from the open with a gap up is relevant. Here, it changed to XPY, SPX. You see XPX is holding 50 minutes range. Probably can trade higher, but not seeing it. Not seeing it. Then key stocks. This is the Nvidia is trying to push. Microsoft is doing very well. Google did, Meta, Tesla, and Apple. All of them are not. I don't. There is no sign of sellers in control at all, right? But you can see the price for the last half an hour. The move was done overnight, continuation of yesterday of Fridays, and in a daily candle looks stronger. So that's all, guys. This is the close for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.